I've learned from my mistakes. The performance finally comes to an end. my brother's job is to look after people with mental disabilities, and one of the like adults is a Peppa Pig fan. And apparently all he does all day is sit and watch Peppa Pig with this guy. The Peanut Gallery can't help but voice their surprise and awe. Mayuri and Faris start clapping their hands in applause. Yes, an adult Peppa Pig fan. The problem is though, my brother hates Peppa Pig.
まあ演奏は正直あれだけどみんな楽しそうだから。そうね。OK ってことにしましょうか。
Kurisu flashes up a somewhat strained smile.
なんと言ってもほらベースがものすごく上手だから聞きよ。いやーギターにはかなわんぞ。
It paled in comparison to the guitar part. Ha ha ha.
京馬さんも牧瀬さんも仲良くしましょう。仲良く。よし、準備完了。それじゃあ
With everything on the submission page filled out, the time had finally come to submit it to Nico Nia. I mean, if you're sure, Mr. Bump. I personally think that Scooby-Doo is the best, most mature show. Do it! Dora's finger moves to click the mouse, but then... I shall do so next time I see him. Maoka grabs Daru's hand and stops him. Shining finger? What's wrong? What is it? Maoka's quietly muttering something. I bring my ear close to her mouth. I'm sorry? What's wrong? While we were busy talking about how the video came out, Maoka just stood there in silence. That's not particularly rare for her, so I paid it no mind, but there's clearly something wrong with her. Her face is paler than usual, and she's biting her lip, trembling. The area between her eyebrows is furrowed, just slightly. Huh? Where? Oh no, a mistake. Huh? I don't think it's the end of the world. For the first time ever, I see Maoka Kiryu shed tears before my very eyes. Justin? No, my brother's name is not Justin.
おやすみなさい、京馬さん。おやすみにゃー。おやすみ。
Yeah, be safe on the way home. Lab members start leaving in small groups.
ねえ、まゆり、電車あるの？私のホテルに泊まってく？本当？
Oh, she got that sleepover she wanted. I was concerned that Mayuri might miss the last train, but if she's going to stay with Kurisu, she'll be fine. Of course, Dara and I will be staying at the lab. As for Maoka, I wonder what she's up to. Although it had happened, we decided not to upload the video. What? After all the work? Fucking bitch. There was no time to do a retake. Some of the lab members proposed that a tiny mistake in the lyrics wasn't a big deal, but in the end we opted not to send it in. Maoka hung her head in shame the entire time. When the submission deadline finally passed, she bowed her head and apologized before running out of the lab. We tried to tell her not to beat herself up over it, that we'd just do better next time, but our words could no longer reach her. We were all worried about Moeka, but none of us could find the words necessary to comfort her. I take out my cell phone and shoot her an email. We spent the entire day filming and Moeka was so nervous that she barely ate. If she's too depressed to eat, she might end up collapsing from fatigue. I wait to hear back from her, but there's no reply. There's no reply from the queen of texting, Shining Finger. On any other day, it'd only take seconds before I'd get a barrage of replies from her. Whoa, hold on now. What's wrong, Shining Finger? I'm starting to get really concerned. I sent another email. Good on you, Mr. Bump. So you should as well. But again, there's no response. In a panic, I send a barrage of emails. But no matter how many I send, there's no reply. Damn it. I'm beside myself with worry. I run to the lab, inform Dara of the situation, and immediately head out into the city. From just outside of Moeka's apartment building, I can see that the light in her room is on. Thank goodness she's here. Well, if we have anything from other world lines, she killed herself in the Alpha one. Oh, wait, I can't remember what one's like what. I don't care anymore. I walk up the stairs and stop in front of her door. Knock, knock.
Oi, Shiatsushi.
Hey, Shining Finger. However, just like with my emails, there's no answer.
Oi.
Yo! More knocking. But it's no good. Moeka's that depressed over all this? I can see it in my mind. I can see her curled up in her room holding her knees. Unable to restrain myself any longer, I start violently banging on the door. Well, this is reminiscent of things that have happened in other world lines. Moeka in the corner, hands around her knees, banging on this apartment door. Just interesting parallels. You're there, aren't you, Shining Finger? Moeka! And then, I can just barely make out the sounds of someone shuffling to the door. Moeka's voice is frail. If you're there, answer me! And reply to your emails, damn it! Do you have any idea how worried I've been? Of course I was! The door opens a little. Moeka timidly peeks out from inside. Behind her glasses, her eyes are completely red. Not the kind of red from overwork or lack of sleep. She's clearly been crying. Her eyelids are a little swollen, and upon closer inspection I can see traces of tears on her cheeks. Chicken sandwich? Was he meant to get a chicken sandwich? I doubt Moeka's ever cried in front of anyone before. She moves her hair with her hands to cover her eyes, like she's embarrassed to show her feelings. Are you alright? Good, good. Also, you need to eat. You haven't had anything since noon, right? Get what I'm saying? Alright. Overcome with relief, I instinctively start to pat Moeka on the head. It kind of reminds me of how I interact with Mayuri. I think he'd be luckier if he got anything from her. Can't remember a time when she's ever given him anything. I know she's technically older than me, but I can't help but see her as a little kid right now. Consider this payback for making me worry. Okay, I'll see you later. As I turn to leave, Moeka pulls on my sleeve from behind.
Huh?
I turn around to see Moeka looking down, still holding onto my sleeve. See, I'm not as invested in this storyline. She does like him, but she's just shy. I'm just not very invested though, because I don't like her. Which, you know, is fair from what she's done in other games. I don't see the two as compatible. And honestly, I don't give a toss if Moeka's crying in a corner. What is it? You finally have an appetite. That's good. Huh? Moeka finally looks up at me. Her eyes say it all. Please don't leave me alone. I nod my head and decide to join her. Are we doing cup yakisoba again? Slurp, slurp. Just like before, slurping sounds echo throughout the room. Except it's not yakisoba this time, just regular pasta. I glance around her apartment while I eat. This place has gotten a lot messier since I last cleaned it. As usual, there's a wide assortment of books, papers, and plastic bags all over the place. Inside said bags are cans of alcohol and various snacks. The reason the place smells a little like alcohol is probably because she was just drinking. There are empty cans all over the table. Drinking without putting anything in her stomach is a bad look. But then I remember that she probably came home depressed and couldn't help herself. Shining Finger, you sure do drink a lot. Do you like alcohol? I see. I can't keep a conversation going. Quite frankly, I really want to talk about what happened back at the lab. But I don't want to do anything that'll make her feel worse, so I just shut up and eat more pasta. Done with the food, I head towards the kitchen to throw away an empty container. Should I throw this away in here? I toss it all into the plastic bag filled with convenience store bento boxes and other empty containers. Back in the other room, Moeka has stopped eating and is now typing into her phone. Her fingerwork is as magnificent as always, her slender digits gliding over the different keys. Ah! My phone alerts me to an email. And as expected, it's from Moeka. I'm an open book, apparently. I guess not mentioning what happened at the lab is actually more suspicious than just bringing the subject up right off the bat. I mean, yeah, it sucks that things didn't work out, but there'll always be more opportunities for us. Remember? Everyone agreed that we could just work harder next time. Right? Yeah, you've always been this way and you always will be. But that's... Isn't that the same for anyone? I'm just about to say... Just about to say this, I get another email from Moeka. I was about to say something mean, but maybe I shouldn't, because she's not actually evil in this world line. I just... I can't think of her as not evil. When I tilt my head to the side, my phone rings again. I take a long, hard look at Moeka's face. She quickly averts her eyes. The room is engulfed in silence. I can even hear the sounds of cars driving around in the city. That's how heavy the silence is. After reading Momoka's email again, I hold my cell phone screen out to her. Hey, Shining Finger. Is this, is this part of your novel? Is this a tragic heroine's line or something? I'm right, aren't I? I sit motionless, waiting for her to answer. Momoka runs her fingers over the keys on her phone. Her white, slender fingertips press the keys, but I can tell that she's erasing what she typed over and over again. And then, finally, Momoka speaks with her own mouth. Don't be ridiculous. Momoka raises her eyes from the screen and looks at me in surprise. I bring myself just a little closer to her. Because there are plenty of people who need you. Momoka's eyes open wide. Her mouth is opening and closing. It looks like she's trying to say something but can't find the words. Momoka's fingers move across the keyboard. She's trying to type something in. I extend my hand and stop her. My hand covers hers. Momoka's hand is warm and just a little moist. Her fingers are so delicate that they feel like they could break at any moment, but they're also soft, beautiful, and trembling. I made a grave mistake giving her the nickname Shining Finger. That's just how beautiful her hand is. What? It's just a bit weird. Please, Momoka, say it out loud. Me, the other lab members, Mr. Braun. There are lots of people who cherish you. Lots. Well, you say that, but in other world lines, she tried to kill almost everyone, and then Mr. Braun tried to kill, well, successfully killed her. So I feel like, but whatever, I mean. Can you still call yourself unwanted? Can you really believe that? I can tell that Momoka is desperately trying to find her voice. Her eyes are full of pain and loneliness, but there's also a crazed longing within them. Yeah, we do. Of course. Why don't you keep running away? Why don't you keep trying to run away from the fact that people need you? Tears start welling up in Momoka's eyes. A few of them roll down her cheeks and landing atop my hand. To be fair, I think the Grump's better than her, in my opinion. You should watch the show, Mr. Bump. Then you'd learn more about the character's foundations. It's over, Momoka. We need you. That's why we'll always be watching over you. We'll always expect the best from you. And when you're sad, I'll be sad. Momoka's tears are suddenly streaming down her cheeks. Radiant little beads of moisture trickle down from both of her eyes. Eventually they start gushing. That's a noise and a half. Momoka buries her face into my chest and starts crying loudly. She lets her emotions just hang out. Her cries are like those of an innocent child. I quietly listen to Momoka's crying voice as I lend her my chest. This is like the first time she's ever expressed her own feelings so directly. Yeah. Mr. Bump, if you watch the show, I'm sure you'll learn to appreciate the Grump a bit more. The next morning. With all the lab members present and accounted for, Moeka bows her head apologetically. To me, it seems like less of an apology for what happened last night and more of an apology for not noticing that everyone here cares about her. Then Moeka faces everyone and gives them a warm, pure smile. Moeka turns bright red and starts to fidget uncomfortably. I don't think anyone here has ever seen this side of her. She quickly flees behind me. Actually, she's pretty much just holding me. Oh? Huh? The lab members turn their gaze to Moeka hiding behind me. They then immediately look at me. Yep, of course. Of course, Dari feels betrayed immediately. Every time. Oh, wait a second! I think you've all got the wrong idea! Suzuhu, you should know exactly who I end up with. You're from the future. No, the date came later. Ferris, shut up. Would you just listen for once? Meanwhile, Moeka's still clinging to me from behind, her face undoubtedly bright red. The show? I think the show's a 12. Maybe a 15. Yeah, the show's 12. Oh. How the hell am I gonna clear up this misunderstanding? But then I realized something. Who cares? What's there to clear up? See, the thing is, when he's not with Kurisu, he doesn't have to feel embarrassed, because Kurisu will, purposely try and make him feel embarrassed. Because, he has to outman her. But for Moeka, it's like, hang on, why do I give a fuck? I still don't know that much about Moeka. What kind of girl is she really? What does she like? What makes her smile? We've only just made it to the starting line. So who knows? Maybe I will totally fall in love with her. Maybe I won't. I hope you don't, personally. Because I don't like her. It will take some time before I know one way or the other. Huh? It's an email from Moeka. I look down at my phone screen. Bruh. I mean, to be fair, if she keeps buying these, maybe they are ready-made meals, but they're free. So I'll take them. I then turn to look at Moeka. I give her a frown. Come on, Shining Finger, did Mr. Braun tell you that you can't just eat cup noodles all the time? Feed me something for decent one of these days. I didn't say that right, did I? Whatever. Like something you make yourself? Moeka's eyes widen. And then she gives me a bashful smile. Damn, we got it all full coloured in red as well. Is that it? Is that the end? Seems like an end. Yeah, there are the credits. Well, I enjoyed the thing with the band. Didn't really enjoy the thing with Moeka. But it wasn't too long. And if my theory is correct, we've got more endings to go, which I assume will be with other other, the various other characters. Maybe we'll even get a storyline around Daru, because we haven't really gotten that. We get a lot of Daru content, with the whole like being a father, and in Zero we get his relationship with Amane, but we never really get a solo Daru story. I think that would be interesting, getting a solo Daru story. And based on how this went last time, the audio for this section is going to get striked for copyright, and it will be muted out. So Mr. Bump, this is an exclusive conversation between you and I. Right, let's see them. On to Route 3, which I'm not even trying to pronounce that. Alright, so we have to ignore it once. I should have saved at the right point. Well, at least I know where I need to be at now. This one, maybe? This might be the right one. Problem is I don't know where I'm at. I know I can check. Oh wait, we're on a different day now, so I've definitely gone to the wrong one. I went too far. We'll try from here. I think we're alright from here. We gotta go through all the stuff with Shining Finger. What's happening? Alright, we're in skip mode. Let's go. Let's zoom. Yep, this wanker. I don't give a toss. I don't give a toss. Yep. Put the earphones on her head. She's now woken up. We've put the bracelets on. And we're fiddling. Then Daru comes in. Makes us jump. We accidentally activate it. Now we panic. We get electrocuted a bunch of times. We yell at Daru. Alright. Everything is set up. We just have to send it in. So I have my phone to write a message.
一体いつにどういう内容のメール？
それはやっぱり新作ガジェット。
そうだな。
I love how just tiny little changes to these emails will immensely change the timeline. Yep, you come up with music.
Okabe.
Press the button. But then he doesn't.
Okabe.
考えてみれば。
まあ、確かに言われてみれば。でも、じゃあ。
要は、ならば、12号機の制作を中止にすればいいのだ。
じゃあそれでいいから早く送りましょう。
I read my phone and adjusted the message. Stop. Number 12 development at once. Okay. Send. Here we go. We're changing world lines. Whoa! To 3 point something? Or was it always at 3 and I just missed? Hang on. Was it already at 3? Or am I blind? That's not what I meant to do. Whatever. I don't think it would let me take a video before that. The fat boy will probably like him. Well, we can see, can't we? Ugh. I feel dizzy as my vision distorts. I've lost all sense of reality. And then, once again, the world begins to take shape. I know this feeling. Reading Steiner. The D-mail worked. Huh. Cat Maiden's Domain. I think I know what storyline we're going to do. I think it's going to be the one where they all dress up as cats. Maybe, just maybe. It's a possibility. Maybe like 5% chance. Ugh, my movement is staggered. I place my hand against the wall to hold myself up. After recovering from the side effects of reading Steiner, I move on to checking the current situation. I immediately look down at my right arm. It's gone. Future Gadget number 12, the infernal machine that had been torturing Kurisu and I up till now, has vanished without a trace.
Yes.
Excellent. Mary pauses what appears to be her homework to look up at me.
No.
Oh, it's nothing. I just had a good idea. Kurisu unleashes her snark on me as she grabs a drink from the fridge. I attempt to casually pry her for information.
No.
My most loyal of assistants. How does development on the next Future Gadget? What number are we up to?
あんた頭大丈夫？さっき円卓会議とやらで自分
Just answer the question. What number?
11号機よ。
Alright, brilliant. Then that means, so after the phone wave and subject to change, it looks like we went on to make number 9, Return of the Tear-Stained Goddess, number 10, Surprise Specs, and number 11, One Scoot Prevails. That's exactly the scenario I'd hoped for. In this world line, I rejected Faris's idea for number 12. The DML appears to have worked just as planned. My body awash with relief, I sit down on the couch. Mayuri stretches out off to my side.
何？さっき始めたばっかりじゃん。だってね。
My work ethic be like.
ちょっとお疲れ気味。そんなに忙しいの？メイクインのアルバイトが大変。
At Faris's behest, Mayuri's apparently been working double shifts over at the cafe. That's kind of incredible.
そういえばここんとこいつメイクインに行ってもマユシいるよね。
Dara takes a break from watching a Nico Mia video live stream to chime in.
マユリがいるとお客さんが増えるからじゃないの？ほら、マユリって可愛いし。そういうわけじゃないんだよ。
He doesn't elaborate. Curious. Mayuri's cell phone starts to ring. She grabs it from her bag and checks to see who the caller is before lifting it to her ear.
もしもし、エリスちゃん？
Unsurprisingly, it's from Faris. Mayuri glances at a pocket watch she always carries with her. She frowns a bit before nodding to her phone and answering it. After hanging up, Mayuri begins to pack all her homework into her bag. Off to May Queen?
今日バイトの予定だったミヤちゃんがね、辞めちゃったんだって。
なんですと？ミヤニャンが辞めた？
Daru suddenly leaps out of his chair. Considering how often Daru is at May Queen, it's not terribly surprising that he's familiar with all the maids there.
残念だけどそうみ。
今度オリジナルの PC を組んであげる約束してたのに。
ダルくん、元気出して。
ありがとうマユシ。ちなみに今のをもっと優しく言ってくれればさらに元気出るかも。
ダルくん、元気出して。
そうそう。それでね、元気の部分を
Oh,
取っちゃ
I
ってく
remember.
ださい。
I've got new things on my phone I can check out. A cow frog. Interesting. And new ringtone apparently. It's not bad, not bad. I think I like what I've got already though.
ダルくん、出して。やめんかちょっと。
Quit it, you damn pervert! Did we hit him? Kurus and I simultaneously smacked the living hell out of our perverted companion. We're in sync as usual.
何怒ってるの？
You don't need to know. Trust me. Now come on, off to May Queen with you. Mayuri grabs her bag and hurries outside. With everything said and done, I take a moment to inspect the lab and the future gadgets. The results of my examination reveal that number 11 is where the production line ends, though there aren't any huge differences between this world line and the last. At any rate, I think I can finally take a breather. I let out a sigh of relief. But unbeknownst to me, a new, more powerful threat was looming in the shadows. Oh, I've got mail. From Lukako. The afternoon of the next day, I'm out shopping in Akiba with Mayuri. I had a new idea for a gadget that could replace number 12, so I came here to get the necessary parts. Akiba's busier than usual for a Sunday, with crowds populating not just Chirodori, but the back alleys as well. I feel like I'm going to lose track of Mayuri the second I take my eyes off of her. See, I don't know why, but I feel like this one's going to follow Mayuri. The fact that she can use Stardust Handshake or Sneaking Fade to just up and vanish doesn't make things any easier for me. That's why I need to be extra careful. Unfortunately, my keeping my eyes locked on Mayuri means that I'm barely paying attention to the crowds in front of me, and I end up bumping shoulders with someone. My apologies. Oh? Well, if it isn't Ferris. Ferris glances down in my bag. Not quite, Mayuri. I called it the full auto Maze Panna. There we go. It's a fully automated popcorn cooking device. Nice! Cooking popcorn at home is more trouble than it should be. You have to put the seeds in the frying pan, make sure they don't burn. It's all a hassle. And your arms get tired too. To be fair, that's a good idea. Would buy that. Anybody who's ever made the instant popcorn you can find in stores knows exactly what I'm talking about. Hence, the Reborn number 12, the latest future gadget. All we have to do is exchange the head of a shoulder massage device with a frying pan and then attach a heater to its bottom. After that, just put the popcorn, butter and salt into the machine and hold it. Ta-da! Popcorn! The wide world of kitchens will be revolutionized by this breathtaking advancement in culinary science. Ah, by the way, maize is actually another word for corn. I just thought it sounded cooler. As for panna, that's just a word I made up by adding some extra letters to pan. Ferris intently listens as I explain the details of the project to her. By the way, where are you off to, Ferris? The lab? No, you mustn't, Ferris. Nyan. The knowledge will ruin you! Your very self will cease to exist! If that is your fate, so be it. Whenever Ferris and I talk, things always get weird. It's a hassle. Anyway, Mayuri and I were thinking of grabbing a bite over at Sambo. Care to join us? Ferris flashes her pearly white teeth at us in a big smile, but I can see the shadows beneath both of her eyes. She's done well to hide them with makeup, but I know those eyes. I've seen them when I look into the mirror after pulling an all-nighter. She's got dark circles under her eyes. From Lukako again? Hey Ferris, seriously, are you? I start to speak but find myself getting cut off by Ferris herself. Ferris waves at us before turning to head towards May Queen. I speak to Mayuri, my eyes still locked on Ferris. She has it pretty rough, huh? Isn't the store manager supposed to keep tabs on shifts? Why is that being dumped on Ferris? Mayuri starts to say something but hesitates. I give her a curious look and she hurriedly continues. Ah, I get it now. In other words, she's like a middle manager for all the maids. It seems every industry has its tough management positions. Mayuri nods. I've always figured Ferris to be kind of childish, what with her nyan-nyans and weird delusions. That said, she seems to have a lot on her plate at work. Impressive. I can't help but find myself seeing the cat he had made in a more positive light. But then... Ferris suddenly screams out. Surprised, I look up and find Ferris has been cornered by a handful of men in a back alley. Ah, not this dick again. Fucking wanker. I recognize the man in front. He's...
おいてめえ、まさかいいか。これは熱くこの店に行くのはやめておくんだな。さもないとブリリアントな罠に籠絡されちまうぜ。
That's right. He's that widow who stopped me in front of May Queen and started going on about all sorts of nonsense. Mayuri, wait here. No, it's too dangerous to stay here. I immediately rush over to Ferris. Hey! I'm gonna get beaten up again, aren't I? The men glare at me. Upon closer inspection, he doesn't seem to be your run-of-the-mill delinquent. Judging by his fashion sense, he strikes me as somebody who'd be hanging around Shibuya, not Akiba. He's also wearing what appears to be a high-spec sunglasses, a necklace and a wristwatch. The men around him are similarly decked out. These guys are more dangerous than your everyday delinquents, but I can't just leave a friend in need. What do you want from Ferris? Persona non grata? Is that even English? What's this guy rambling about? Welcome to Makise Kurisu's Tips Corner! In this case, persona non grata means someone unwelcome, or someone unneeded. The perfect way to describe you, Okabe. Well, why do we randomly just get... What? Why is Kurisu riding in the game? Shaking my head. Kurisu would later rub salt into the wound, unsurprising to say the least. What? That's so random. It's got plenty to do with me. Ferris is my friend. The man looks around, his eyes stopping at Mayuri behind me. He smirks and starts to laugh. What? He knows Mayuri? Just who the hell is this guy? As I try to puzzle things out in my head, he starts to explain himself. Ah! Oh dear. What did you say? Make them his? How can I stay calm after hearing something as demeaning as that? No, you just are a horrible person by the sounds of it. I'm not her boyfriend, she's my important hostage, oh, for God's sake. I'd never hand her over to the likes of you! Why would you start going on about the hostage thing in public, man? That's just out here. Seemingly still misunderstanding the situation, the man crudely shoves out his pinky finger. Then after dramatically posing in the most heavy-handed way humanly possible, he pulls out a business card. I take it from him and glance down. Amusement Hospitality Planner. Hyper Cafe Producer. Entertainment Food Coordinator. His excessive gaudy business card is riddled with a confusing array of words and terms. None of them, in even gaudier font, is what appears to be his name. The 4 degrees C. Shido. How the hell am I supposed to read this? Wait. 4 can be read as she and do. That's degrees. He's a total Shinibio. Even the great Hoin Kiyomo can do naught but recoil in embarrassment. I mean, if this guy wasn't such a sleazeball, I think him and Kiyomo would get along. And also if he didn't look like a zombie from The Walking Dead. Wait, what exactly did he just say? Interesting. I stand there dumbfounded by the nonsense this weirdo is spouting out. What the hell is he getting at? What's the point of all this? Amidst my bewilderment, Ferris angrily chimes in.
要するにフェイリスとマユシーを自分がプロデュースしてるメイドカフェに
Eh?
ありていに言えばそういうことだ。あんたから
Ah, so I imagine that there are the May Queen is understaffed because people have been ditching their jobs to come and work for this guy. I imagine he pays quite well.
何度も何度もしつこいにゃ。そんな話は聞けないと言ったはず。マユシーもお断りします。
Mayuri clears her Mayuri clearly states her intent.
そんなことを言っていいのかな。
Upon hearing this, Ferris' expressions turn sour.
一体どういうことだ
What's that supposed to mean?
どういうことも何も。秋葉のメイドか。
何
What? 4 Degrees C grins at my shocked response. He gives his subordinates what I can only assume is a signal to leave.
まあ、よく考えるんだな、フェイリスニャンニャン。今俺の店に来れば3倍のギャラを出してやるぜ。
I think you misunderstand her influence on culture here, mate. She could probably get a better job than what she's got, but she does that because she likes it.
その代わり、俺に逆らったら、二度とこの町では働けなくしてやる。
She has more influence in this town than you do. I can almost guarantee it. Oh, he has an evil laugh though. I don't like him, but he has an evil laugh. Anyway, I've got more mouth than Lukako. I should be careful of heat stroke. 4 Degrees C takes his men and leaves. As Ferris glares at his back, I can barely make out the tears forming in her eyes. Those are interesting noises to make. Hey, come on. Calm down, Ferris. Sit down. After everything that happened with 4 Degrees C, I head to May Queen with Ferris in the hopes of learning more about the situation. Ferris packs her... I can't read. I give up on reading. Ferris paces back and forth, clearly seething with rage. Even though it's lunchtime, the place is empty. That's why Ferris is showing up a side of herself she'd never show a customer. Mayushi Nyanyan, the girl formerly known as Mayuri, places multiple apple teas on the table. Ferris sits across from me and takes a sip. So, what's the deal, Ferris? Has that guy been bothering you girls for a while now? He mentioned something about his cafes being the only ones in Akiba. Ferris? Did Mayuri get a say in that? But why? Oh, James has come on to Tetris, that's a good sign. And where does that leave you, Ferris? The hell are you talking about? Are you a lab, ma'am? Aren't you one of our friends? It's got nothing to do with us. Are you kidding me? The great Horin Kiyoma is not so foolish as to ignore a threat against his friends. Ferris looks lost and confused for some reason. She turns her gaze to Mayuri. Mayuri gently urges her. I don't know what I'll be able to do to help, but can you at least tell me what's going on? Ferris takes another sip of the apple tea Mayuri made and starts summarizing the situation. Things are even crazier than I'd imagined. The third Akihabara Maid Cafe War. Oh no. I have no idea whether there was actually a first or second, but the way Ferris described the Great War made it sound incredibly dire. Akihabara being the place it is, competition between maid cafes has always been fierce. It's not terribly rare for a cafe A to become Cafe B only a month later. Things change quickly. But recently, something strange has started happening in the maid cafe circuit. It all started when 4 Degrees C appeared. Apparently, 4 Degrees C originally designed normal cafes and food courts. He eventually made use of the strong social skills to talk his way into major investment funds, which helped him sneak into the maid cafe industry with a whole lot of cash to back him up. 4 Degrees C's joints were all hugely successful. Of course they were. The establishments produced by 4 Degrees C had bags of money backing them up. This money was used to scout top talent from other cafes and even bring in gravure idols. Of course, if that was the extent of it, that'd just be business. Some of the services he offered were borderline sex industry levels of skeevy. He put the competition out of business by starting price wars that they could never hope to win. Damn. This guy's a bit, you know. We aren't big fans. Also, how come James got on Tetris, but not Discord? A bastard. Is he actually still on Tetris? Yes, he's just playing Tetris. How dare he? Anyway, back to the game. Much of that competition would then fall into financial holes, at which point 4 Degrees C would swoop in with the buyout. As a result, most of the maid cafes in Akihabara are now backed by 4 Degrees C to some degree or another. I will tell James he's bald. The only exceptions are May Queen and a handful of old, well-established shops. This whole thing is unbelievable. I had no idea all this was going on in the shadows. I see. Ah, there he is. Jimmy's here. In 20 minutes? Alright, well at least we've got a time frame to work with. That would explain why Ferris and Mayuri have been working overtime. I'll answer that question later. The thought of 4 Degrees C's cavalier tactics began to get my blood boiling. Huh? Prompted by Ferris, I looked outside the window and spotted a flashy sign on the building across from us. The picture on it is an illustration by a famous artist. Even I know who they are. The maid cafe goes by the name Pudding Princess Mode. That is awful. It takes up the second and third floors of the building. But to be fair, Maid Queen is a pretty awful name as well. Visible from here are those throngs of customers. So that's another one of 4 Degrees C's cafes? I basically grown out my words, and Ferris nods, clearly frustrated. That explains why this place is so empty on a Sunday during peak hours. Up until just a moment ago, I was puzzling over why the cafe was empty. It all makes sense now. This should be one of the busiest times of the day, but we're the only ones here. Actually, there were a lot of empty seats last time I dropped in too. The May Queen that I know and love would never be that empty. Ferris's eyes begin to tear up as a mix of anger and sadness washes over her. Oh, I'm hoping that in this arc we actually get to take down 4 Degrees C. I mean, you know, he's been a dick in some of the storylines, and to be able to actually take him down in one of them will be nice.
秋葉の文化をあんなやつにめちゃくちゃにされて。
First. No, I don't know much about maid cafes. I only really come to May Queen because Faris and Mayuri are always here. I've never given other places much thought. Regardless, 4 Degree C's tactics are unforgivable. I want to do something to help Faris and Mayuri. Okay, I've got a grasp on things. I loudly declare my intentions. Starting now, the Future Gadget Laboratory will do everything in its power to provide backup to May Queen. This new mission will henceforth be called Operation Freya, based on the goddess of love and fertility. I will allow no objections to this. Ferris looks puzzled. Didn't I tell you not to worry about it? Not a soul of the lab would ever say no to helping you out. Don't be a stranger. Oh wait, that's not my line. Of course, Daru is in here to interject. Upon hearing a voice from seemingly out of nowhere, I turn around and look towards the entrance, only to find the silhouette of a large man posing confidently with his hand to his forehead. Of course, because of how overweight he is, his pose isn't even remotely cool looking. The bag with the Eroge character on it doesn't help his case either. See, I love how close they can get Ferris's model. They can't really get Daru's model any closer to the screen. They can't make it any bigger. The cat girl bows her head to us, finally accepting our offers to help. Alright, with that decided, it's time to call all lab members back. We need to hold an emergency meeting. But before we get to that, there's one thing I want to do first. I need to talk to May Queen's owner. We can't very well start meddling in this mess before we get their permission. I'm pretty sure Ferris is the owner, isn't she? Oh wait, we didn't learn that. We haven't learned. Oh, I forgot we hadn't learned that. That was in another world line that we learned that. Whoops. Ferris and Mayuri reluctantly glanced at each other. What's wrong? Ferris licks her lips several times in hesitation. She gathers herself and looks over at me. Her voice is low. Daru flips over his chair, making a huge sound that echoes throughout the room. I forgot we hadn't learned this. Yes, because obviously, yeah. I forgot we hadn't learned this yet. We can't contain our excitement as we look up the super high-class, high-rise apartment building next to the UPX. She is super rich. Mayuri, is this your first time coming here too? I see. Not only does she operate a maid cafe, but she also lives in a place like this. Who exactly are you, Ferris Nanyan? Anyway, I'm sure you're probably wondering why all of us lab members are standing here, staring awestruck at an apartment building. Since the place was lacking for customers anyway, Ferris decided to close up shop at May Queen and hold a roundtable conference at her place. Her reasoning? Since everyone is going out of their way to help, I'd like to treat you all to a good meal. Nyan. But we never imagined we'd end up here. I feel terribly out of place, given the way I'm dressed. Is it really okay for people like Daru and I to be here? The thoughts crossed my mind, but I quickly move on. There's no point standing here dumbfounded. I press the intercom button. I reflexively tense up. The speaker on the other end of the intercom sounds like quite the dandy gentleman. After stating my name and business, the auto lock on the door opens, allowing us access into the elevator hall. The hall floor is covered in soft carpeting, and the entire area has been polished to an incredible shine. Not even a speck of dust in sight. This seems more like a high-class hotel than an apartment building. Undoubtedly, we all feel incredibly out of place, but nonetheless pile into the elevator. Thanks. As we enter Ferris's home, we're greeted by an older gentleman in an extremely classy suit. The gentleman leads us into the living room and we nervously take seats on the couch. How many square meters wide is this living room? It's huge! And the ceiling is so high up too. And man, that view of Akihabara through the huge window up front is amazing. The people below look like ants. A fitting castle for the great Hoin Kiyoma to rule from. Ah yes, thank you. I reply with a polite nod and the elderly gentleman leaves the living room with a gentle smile. Damn it, I was totally ready to go into a dramatic monologue, and now it's all ruined. Not that kind of butler, Mayuri. I love how we're all whispering. As the two quietly argue, the door opens and a familiar cat girl enters. Ferris is wearing her usual clothes, but for some reason she's still got her cat ears on.
No.
Thanks, sorry for barging in with so many people. Ferris stands in front of us and deeply bows her head. Considering the apartment she lives in and the fact that she has a butler, I imagine Ferris has a small fortune, which means that she could utilize the same tactics as 4 Degrees C if she wanted to. She could easily attract customers back to May Queen. But Ferris is resolute. You'll feel the same way. Mocha asks Ferris. It seems the current maid cafe issue is something of a popular topic at the editorial company where Mocha works. If all goes well, the story could end up getting featured in a magazine, or at least that's what Mocha believes. If we could get the mass media on our side, we'd have tremendous momentum behind Operation Freya. What Degree C hasn't figured out your true identity either, right? I suppose if he knew who she was, he wouldn't have been trying to scout her. Alright, Shining Finger, move the story in that direction, okay? That still leaves the problem of how to draw customers back. Her true identity is that she's rich. And that she owns the restaurant. Kurishi raises her hand. Speak up. Any and all ideas are welcome. So like a PV. Interesting. The issue is that none of us have ever made one before. Should we ask a pro? Then I guess we'll do it for ourselves. Lukuko timidly raises his hand in response.
僕のお父さん。
本当か？我が
Is that so, my apprentice?
はい。僕が生まれてから入学式とか卒業式とか何かあるたびに張り切って新しいのに買い替えてくるんですよ。
Ha, that sounds exactly like the sort of thing Lukaku's doting father would do.
では、カメラは
Alright then, we'll borrow the camera from Lukaku's family. Now we just have to figure out what's going to be in the PV itself.
それならフェイリスやってみたいことがあるにゃ。
Oh, such as?
まだ思いついたばっかりでまとまってないにゃ。次の会議までに考えてくるからそれでいい。
そうね。メイクインのことはフェリスさんが一番よく知ってるわけだし、任せていいんじゃないかしら。
よし。PV の
Alright,
内
we'll
容
put
は
Ferris in charge of what's in the PV.
頑張るにゃ。
では、次の
Any other ideas?
マユリ、聞か
Okay,
せて
let's
み
hear
ろ。
it, Mayuri.
実はね、ずっと前から考えてたんだ。動物さんカフェをや
動物さんカフェ？
メイクインの中に
Cat Cafe.
猫カフェとかそういうや
Yes,
つ。
Cat Cafe. We might as well turn our house into a cat cafe. We have so many bloody cats.
猫ちゃんとかワンちゃんだけじゃなくてコアラさん
Koalas and penguins.
とか
To be fair, a koala cafe.
ちょっと待て。
Hold your horses!
Neko ya inu
Cats
nara
and dogs I
tomokaku.
totally get, but
Koala
don't you
ya
think
penguin
koalas
wa
and penguins
kibishii da.
are a bit much? Oh, I couldn't go to a cat and dog cafe. The dogs would set off my allergies.
だけどお客さんは来ると思うな。
I mean, I can't disagree with you, Mr. Bump, but I still think that you have a slight bias.
客より先にワシントン条
If
約か何かで警
if by
察が来そう
customers
だ
you mean
が。
cops coming to enforce the Washington Convention, then sure.
ちなみにペンギンというのは一部でウホの象徴になってるら
I
しい
did not know that, but I do now.
そんな豆知識はいらん。
ダメかな。
猫や犬にしても
Where we even keep the
普段はどこ
animals?
で飼うん
Taking
だ？
care of them would be a pain
世
too.
話を。
そっか。あ、だったらね、動物
Ah, now she wants everyone to be a furry. Well, yes, but that's not subjective at all. I mean, that's just a fact, Mr. Bump. It's a good fact, but it's, you know, it's no point bringing it to the table. It's undisputable.
着ぐるみ？
Animal suits?
マユシーが作るよ、ペンギンさん。はにゃー、それは可愛いかもしれ
んで、
And
誰
who
がその
exactly
着
would
ぐるみ
wear
に
this
入るんだ？
suit? Everyone points directly at me. Why am I gonna have to dress up as a penguin
却下だ。
over my dead body?
次、何かアイデア
Next.
があるものを。
Anyone else have any ideas? As I look around, Suzuho quickly raises her hand.
あのさ、サバイバルカフェはどうかな。
No, we're not turning the cafe into one of your World War III zones.
というと、
Go on, is that
もしかして、
some kind of
サ
combo
バゲーと
between
メイドカフェ
a
のコラ
survival
ボか。
game and a maid cafe?
無法メイドさんが銃持ってるとかありがちだけどいいんじゃね。絶対領域に川の食い込みホルスターは神すがる。
I don't think so.
どうだ、フェイリス。
What do you think, Ferris?
スペース的にサバゲーは無理だけどにゃー。でも店内の雰囲気をそれっぽくして
Air gun. But I feel like there's definitely some things that could go wrong there.
エアガン
Air guns? Why not real guns?
なんでって。
What do you
お前
mean
が言ってるの
why?
は、
You're the one who
survival
suggested
game
making a
cafe
survival game cafe, right?
違う違う。サバイバル料理が出てくるカフェだよ。
What, like the things on I'm a Celebrity? Here, have a cow's eye.
サバイバル料理って一体。
ね、公園の草を煮たり、線路脇の草を焼いたり。
Ah. Interesting.
却下だ、却下。
Rejected. No way in hell.
結構いけるよ。今度ごちそうしよっか。
If she's still talking about survival stuff, then there must be some sort of war in the future. So what's she doing here? Surely, if she's trying to prevent a war in the future, she has more important things to be doing. I refuse with every fibre of my very being. What kind of life do you live, part-time warrior? So, anyone else? Or maybe she's just destined to join the military. Like, even, you know, when there's no, like, war in the future, she just joins the, armed forces anyway. Rejected. Hasn't even spoken yet. Your idea is probably bad. Don't think I'll just stand by and watch you do weird things to Faris and Mayuri. Seconded. Hanakurusu's sharp glare, Daru's big body curls up into a tiny ball. That hurt to watch. Alright, Daru, my capable right-hand man, I give you permission to speak. At my invitation, Daru begins muttering as he slowly stands back up. That would be a joiner. That would be a dentist. It has been 20 minutes. No, try to think outside the box, part-time warrior. It's a genre that nobody else is doing, so you'd have a monopoly on it. With no market competitors, you wouldn't be dragged into price competitions. So what you're saying is we should try for something like that then? Not bad, my right hand. Not bad at all. No, I refuse. Whatever you're suggesting, I don't want to do it. You can do it if you want, but I'm not going to. Oh, to be fair, yeah. I mean, Luca's practically a girl. I mean, almost as though he senses incoming danger. Luca co-hugs himself tightly. I love that. I see! How did I overlook this? I'm sorry, Luca. Your sacrifice is a noble one. Luca seems desperate, tears forming in his eyes. Mayhaps we are, young Padawan. If we are to ever defeat the Empire, we require your powers of the Force. That's a Star Wars reference, Luca. Don't worry about it. If I had to describe the Force in one sentence... What? There's no way someone this cute can be a girl! Apparently, that's the line we're saying. No, Luca's a man. Remember how they kept doing like the close-up pan and saying, but he's a dude.
入らなければ、俺の男友達
Nope, this is a boy. Definitely a boy.
でもいいよ。
どっちも嫌です。
Nope, they just look like that naturally. He isn't trying to look like a girl at all. Lukako suddenly jumps up from the sofa, shaking his head while backing away. I stand up as well, walking slowly toward him. Lukako, I understand. I get how you feel. Painfully so. But, please! This is for our friend! Can't you strip your pride and put on the outfit?
でも僕
Don't be shy, Lukako! It's time to cast aside your hesitation and take your rightful place on the Queen's throne! The only reason Luka at all would want to be a girl is because he likes Kiyoma. The time has come! The birth of a new queen!
今のはオカマさんとカマをかけたのかにゃ。
だから誰がうまいこと言えと。
そんなこと言われても。
Then how about this? Christina will wear one too! Yeah, he's gay, but obviously Kiyoma's not, so Lukako wishes that he was actually a girl, so that it wouldn't matter.
Huh?
You and Christina, if you stood side by side, I can guarantee that you'll look far better in a maid outfit than she would. Fear not! I know the truth hurts, no, but could you save that for later? I'm trying to convince Lukako to go along with this. Think carefully, my assistant. This is a necessary sacrifice. Huh? Absurd. Lukako mumbles out his decision while wiping away his tears. Shit! Don't say that! No! I refuse to take off my lab coat! I refuse! Hold on a sec! Now it's my turn to slowly back away. Rude, I'm not extra large. Daru's extra large. I refuse to be that. Wait a minute! Shut up, Daru. Shut up, Daru! There's nothing niche about me wearing a maid uniform. I'd look creepy. I mean, you kind of already look a bit creepy, Kiyoma. Then how about helping me out here? How dare you? Then you do it! Seriously? Darcy? He's already like picked out his female name. This guy. He's perverted on another level. I knew you were a pervert. But I didn't think you were this far gone. Which one? The chubby one or the boy who looks like a girl? He'd be a good bear. Ferris gently rejects the existence of Darcy Nyan Nyan. Good job, Ferris. Why do you hate them? Don't sound so disappointed, my right-hand man. You don't like the name Luca?
辞めちゃった子たちの代わりにメイドさんを雇わなきゃいけないのにゃ。だったらフェリスはラボのみんな。
ラボのみんなの中には
Oh yes, Kurisu. Most definitely. You reported the cat for homophobia. Interesting.
俺は冗談だよ。
That whole thing with me was a joke, right?
当然入ってるにゃ。
Shit.
マジか
Seriously? Oh, that wasn't the girl boy who decided on Darcy. That was the fat guy who wanted to be called Darcy. They're like me, the main character.
もちろんちゃんとアルバイト料はお支払いするにゃ。どうかにゃ。
Well, it's because his name is Daru, so Daru is close to Darcy.
飲食店の接客は経験ないけど、いや取材の合間なら。決まりだにゃ。
Ferris gives us a huge smile.
それじゃあ予定が空いてる人は明日から早速メイクインに来てほしいのにゃ。駅前でチラシ配り。
Neither me or Kurisu want to do this. The roundtable conference will continue for a while longer, with ideas being bounced around for 2 hours. While watching my friends exchanging ideas to help Ferris, my mind begins to drift. I start thinking about how wonderful it is that all us lab members had come together to help Ferris in her time of need. I also come to the conclusion that I have to prevent Okuri Nyan Nyan from ever being born into this world, no matter the cost!
Okabe,
I will most definitely wiggle my way out of this. Kurisu's glare burns a hole straight through my soul.